So I really haven't talked about it. It's been kind of like a 13 days since this whole thing was announced. So James Gunn kind of did a thing where he says he sees the hashtag for hashtag Save DC Legends, and I think it was hashtag Save something else. But we'll just focus on that. So a lot of things are getting canceled. The CW, and again, I think CW ran its course. I don't think you should do nothing else with that world or with with those shows. Especially, you can use a Canary, a Booster, and all these other characters because use them for something else. I won't even put them. DC Legend tomorrow had its run. It did good. Should they get a movie or something? Yeah, I should give them a 2-part movie animated. I mean, I think James Gunn is going to do things like that, and I hope he does. And this is me speculating. I will give fans, here's a movie. Well, we want a live action. No, we need to focus on the other films department. A movie's quick, easy, make it under this money. It does well, we'll give you another one. It does well, we'll give you a third one. You know what I'm saying? It's easier, especially animated. We can always get that money back, and plus, it doesn't put Warner Brothers in more debt. If you get what I'm saying. But right now, I think he's focusing on more so the film department because that's where they can get more revenue and money. The little stuff like TV shows they're doing, they're not going to focus on that. Not saying that. It's just that they want to profit back fast, and a movie can do that very fast, especially with the box office. So you will get more of a Superman, a Batman, a Wonder Woman. Those films will be main priority over the TV shows. The problem that the old regime had, and it's just they were doing so much, but they weren't getting nothing back. I mean, DC had probably more shows than Marvel at one point, and they weren't getting enough profit back, especially on the CW. It was ridiculous, but they were good shows. Arrow, Flash, at one point, once upon a time, the DC Legend of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, those shows people love. Supergirl, those shows. But anyway, I'm really excited for this. As a fan of DC, this is what needed to be done. We needed somebody like a James Gunn, somebody who's a fan of these characters. You could tell while watching the Suicide Squad, he's a fan. And the man, he did an interview. He said, I went around DC and I searched for these obscure characters and made them to life. That's what he did. That is fun. When you do stuff like that, you make a character that nobody would think would ever do well, and it did. Do I think it's on the level of Guardians? No. Because a lot of people did not see the Suicide Squad film as much, but it was the best DC film that has came out since Wonder Woman. And some people say even better, which I agree. It's just that it came at the wrong time during the pandemic. This film would have came out during the Birds of Prey. I promise you, I guarantee you, this would have been over. But Zaslav did something great. He listened to the fan base. He looked at what has been our goodest film, and that was the Suicide Squad film. And he looked at, okay, so we need to get somebody like James Gunn, who knows these characters, who did a good job reception-wise. Maybe we need to tell him to tone it down. He's not going to do every film, but he's going to be like trying to connect the tissue like Marvel did in the MCU. And I believe the directors will still have their freedom. Like I'm hearing Zaslav's getting these big old directors like Steven Spielberg, Christopher Nolan is being talked to again and, doing a Superman film. And he's going to try to connect it. And I think Nolan wouldn't mind doing that. I think Nolan will probably do, honestly, out of all those directors, I think Christopher Nolan would tackle Superman because that was one of his films growing up that made him do the Batman the way he did. I don't think he's going to take it dark, though. I think he learned from Man of Steel from Zack Snyder, even though he produced that film, too. I think they would take it a different route. So they really want to make Superman good. They're getting these big-ass directors, what that tells you, which I love. But I don't think you need a big director. You just need a good director, someone who has a vision, and, go from there. Hell, honestly, you can put Superman in this James Gunn world. Everybody's cussing, but he's like, I'm not cursing. Like, how Captain America is. Superman should be the Captain America. It's like everybody's cursing. I'm like, I don't curse. But when I do, I'm serious. I rooted it. And then when he does curse, Batman's like, ooh, in the background, ooh, and Superman's like, those start, Bruce, you know, it's something like that. So yeah, it's I'm more excited for DC than Marvel because Marvel right now they are very stagnant, lazy. After that Thor movie, I said to myself, there's not a damn thing on this planet that DC can do worse than that. Black Adam, I exceeded my expectations. I didn't think it was going to be better than Thor, and it was. It was better than Thor: Dark of the World, and better than Thor: Love and Thunder. Was it better than Ragnarok? To me, not so much because I'm a huge fan of the Hulk, and I love how Thor and Hulk always interact in the movies, especially Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo. I like their the chemistry, and I saw it a lot in that film too. And that was probably the last version that we got to see Hulk. Because if you think about it, the last clear version interpretation we had of Hulk was in Thor Ragnarok. Matter of fact, the most screen time of Hulk was in Thor Ragnarok. Maybe some would say the Age of Ultron, but I'll say Ragnarok, where we just had more screen time with him, and I loved it. You know, I really loved. That's what made me want to go see the film because of Thor. I mean, because of Hulk, and I was like, okay, cool. But again, you got the director Taika Waititi, and you gave him too much freedom, and we got Love and Thunder, which was love as shit, if you ask me. But other than that, though, I'm excited for DC. I'm happy for DC. Um, I think James Gunn. I'm probably going to do a separate video um, talking about what James Gunn should do and you know, what films should be next on the list. And I'm just going to do a rapid video talking about the DC new slate. And hopefully you guys will enjoy that. I would put in this video, but it's going to be too much. And the video can go from 5 minutes to about 29 minutes and maybe 45. And we're not going to do that in this video. But as always, guys, like, subscribe. Peace. Have a Johnson day. And I'll see you guys in the next video.